Thanks for tuning in to Inside Shakeology. I'm Sandy Buadana, and I am here with Isabelle Daikeler.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
We're
guys.
talking about gut health and probiotics. I've heard a lot of emphasis on the importance of gut health and probiotics this year. Tell me more about this trend. Why are so many people talking about gut health?
Well, first of all, I don't think I would call it a trend. We may not have known about it. It may not have been something that is understood or we're familiar with. The aspect of gut health and prebiotic and probiotic and the microbiome, the health of our digestive tract and digestive system will be something that people will understand and be more and more into. So I don't think it's a trend. I don't think it's about to go away suddenly. But if I may, I got a book, and I love how he wrote about this particular question. It says, the microbiome is the community of bacteria that lives within every one of us. Each of us contains a whole inner ecosystem composed of trillions of microbes. I don't think we wrap our brains around this concept, trillions of microbes. These bacteria outnumber our human cells by a factor of 10 to 1. Their genes outnumber our human genes by a factor of 150 to 1. It is no exaggeration to say that each of us is actually more bacteria than human. And I think what we need to understand, too, is we develop the microbiome, mainly the balance of what we call good and bad bacteria, is something that starts at the womb. So the mother is part of it as you grow in the belly. And then as you go through the canal, you get more bacteria. And as you breastfeed, you get more bacteria. And as you start talking to different people, eating, your stress level, all these elements of life also add more healthy, good bacteria or bad bacteria. And really the balance is what's important. Having more healthy bacteria is what's important. And these bacteria are crucial because they help you in digestion, they help protect the immune system. And, you know, if you think of serotonin, which is the feel-good hormones, right? Which is produced in there. So if the microbiome is out of balance and that particular serotonin cannot be produced or processed, or the balance of how much of it is in and out of your system is not well dealt with because your microbiome is off, then your moods will change a great deal. That's why we call it the second brain, because so much of your health has to do, even your moods, has to do with the health down here.
So how do people do a gut check on their gut health?
A gut check. Well, if you have headache, if you feel foggy, if you have bloating, if you have gas, may I say, if you have, funny-looking bowel movements, all these symptoms could be symptoms of your gut health not being quite right. So it's quite an important element of your day-to-day life, and without it, you can't really survive, or you cannot have a sense of well-being for sure.
So you mentioned probiotics. What are probiotics?
Well, you have the prebiotic and the probiotic, and they feed off the fiber of the prebiotic. So there's elements in your diet, which are what we put in, again, because we call it the missing link, the element that we put in the shake, which helps keep the healthy bacteria at a higher level than the non-healthy bacteria.
So how is gut health tied to the general health of the whole body?
Well, it's processing. You know, if you only want to take one element of what it does, it's processing, it's helping you digest the food. And so if you can't process food, if you can't assimilate the nutrients from food, then obviously your health will suffer from it. So at that one big simple point, it does so much. But if you just take that aspect of how it provides our health, without it, we can't process the food. That alone is enough to wreak havoc to your health and your well-being.
I see. Discuss why this was one of the main reasons behind the creation of Shakeology. I mean, is that how
Well, it goes
started?
back to the missing link. It's because there's a high level of stress in terms of our lifestyle, in terms of what we eat and what we breathe, the pollution, the fact that our soil is not as healthy as it used to be. Again, processed pesticide, herbicide, preservative, artificial coloring, all these elements to take away all that you need to be a healthy human being. But
It's what they're missing.
But the missing links to all these elements is really what the shake was all about to begin with.
Now, do you personally take more probiotics in addition to drinking Shakeology?
Yes, I do. I do. And there's a whole science behind pre and probiotic, and there's so many brands and so many different type of probiotics that you can take. But with the help of a holistic doctor, you can also, if you feel you need it, especially if you take antibiotics, you may want to add extra probiotic
Mm-hmm.
to your diet in the morning
Mm-hmm.
for a month or so to make sure you replenish that balance.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Isabelle.
You're welcome.
And thank you, everybody,
Thank
for
you,
joining
guys.
us on Inside Shakeology. For more on this topic, check out the Inside Shakeology audio podcast on iTunes. And make sure you subscribe to the Shakeology YouTube channel. And if you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, any topics you want us to tackle, go ahead and send an email to shakeologypanel@beachbody.com.